Hi everyone, I hope you're doing well. I'm going to jump on real quick and I'm going to do fire. So, what deck do I want to start off with? Let's see. Let's do I want to do the little deck? Or do I want to do fire? You guys, I really feel like there's this energy of like how do I put this to words? I feel like with where you're at, I don't know, you might be dealing with some sort of like reconciliation of something. Like maybe there's a reconciliation from the past, whether it be a person, a relationship, a situation, a job. Maybe you're going back to something from the past. That's interesting. I actually want to start with this deck. Hold on, sorry, I have to move the camera to get it. Every time, I really need to put that in a different spot. Okay, so there we go. I actually want to start with this one. I don't know, I feel like, I don't know, are you revisiting something here? You have change, and change is an interesting card for me because this is like a wheel. It's a motion card, so this is something that's in motion. So this is like something beyond just you as an individual. This is a collective energy here. This is definitely like an overall feeling of like there's different groups of you. There's probably like 4 groups of you. And I feel like this also talks about the balance between all elements. So like, I don't know, fire, like work with your opposite. Like what's your opposite? Like water? There's something about opposites here with fire, water. I don't know what that's about. The dream. Interesting. Again, I feel like there's a lot of past energy here where it's like you're revisiting something from the past. And this card is very interesting in that way because it kind of signals to me that you're like maybe reminiscing a little bit. I don't want to say like ruminating. This is very like watery energy for it to be fire. Maybe that's where that comes into play. I don't know. Are you guys like a little paranoid about something? Like, there's a lot of cards here. I'm not going to take all those cards. But are you guys a little paranoid about something? What's going on? Something about the past. The miser. Okay, so whenever I see this card, this tells me that this is somebody who is focused on the wrong things or was dealing with somebody who was focused on the wrong things. So if you were dealing with a situation in the past, I feel like the situation in the past was definitely, its attention was on the wrong thing. And so whatever that could be. Maybe you want like an apology from something, completion. So you've completed something. So yeah, maybe you're moving forward from it or like you're revisiting it because it's completed. It's like a completion, the end of the chapter. You're closing the door. You're walking away from this type of an energy dynamic. You have an idea of what you want. You want to keep building that. You don't want to invest in things that, and I'm talking people, places, or things, like you don't want to invest in anything that's not contributing to the vision that you're now holding. But there's some sadness here. Like I feel like you had to let things go. And I even feel like my voice just changed. Like after I like cleared my throat, it was like something was like really groggy and just like like, you know, and it's just like, I don't know if somebody's got something to say, or it's like they're going to reach out to you to say something, but it's like the completion of something, closing something out, because this miser energy isn't really, it's not really that great. It's focused on not really great things, and there's a lack of intensity, but I feel like it's in motion. So it's like a redirection of energy, in my opinion. Like, I feel like you're definitely redirecting the energy. I feel like you're focusing on something that maybe I don't know. I feel like there's an energy that's lingering in the past, and it might have to do with family. And it's like not wanting to let something go. And like really brings you down, because it's like you want to bring somebody, like, or people with you, and it's like realizing that there, it's just, it's harder. Like you, like, yeah, it's like that. It's like, it's like having to take care of yourself first, and then being able to take care of other people. And it's like maybe some people are maybe focused on the wrong things, and there's like a lack of intensity where it's like something might be holding you down a little bit, but it's energetic. Like, it's not like a real thing. It's a feeling, it's an emotion, it's something that somebody's kind of like making you feel like you're responsible for, or something, or like making you feel like you have to take account for it, and it's like not for you to do. Like, that's not your responsibility. Like, your responsibility is to take care of you and, you know, what's going on in your world, you know, like, and then that's why I'm even like seeing the symbolism of like the mask when they go over the air safety thing. Like, I'm not seeing anything crazy with planes or not. Don't, you know, don't assume that. Nope, I'm not saying that. I'm saying I see the mask, and it's like the symbol for like putting your own mask on before you can like assist another person. And it's like, you know, when it drops down or whatever, you know what I mean? It's like kind of like that feeling of being like you have to take care of yourself in order to like help other people in different ways. Like, it's not being selfish to do that. It's not being, you're not wrong for doing that. It's just, that's what we got to do. And I feel like you might be coming out of a state where you were kind of isolated in your mind or isolated in your thoughts, and like there's a lot of sorrow here, a lot of anxiety, a lot of like things that like that just like not really it's not really great to like sit with that, but you did sit with it, and I feel like you're moving through it because the mind is upside down. And so I feel like that's emotion. You're moving through it. Here's the isolation, the cocoon. I really see this card as like a cocoon, where it's like a chrysalis almost, where you almost have to go within, because there's something like I don't know, this isolation's like a cocoon, and like this chrysalis, it's like it's like, I don't know, you're maybe you've been there for some time. I'm trying to figure out if this is like coming towards you, or if you're currently in this energy, or if this is past energy. I'm trying to figure out where this is at, like, because it's a lot of energy all at once, which is pretty significant, because maybe it is a lot of energy all at once, and it's kind of forcing you to like go into a chrysalis, to go into a cocoon, to kind of take some time out, which is kind of similar to what I believe talking about with air, which still stands in this time frame, because air and fire kind of play with each other sometimes, and that's kind of what I'm seeing in my mind. Like, I'm seeing like the dynamic between the water and then the fire, and then I'm also seeing the wind and the fire, and I'm seeing like wind coming in with this fire, and it's like growing bigger and bigger and bigger, which is necessary, but then it's also having to deal with the opposite, having to deal with the water and having to learn to work with it, having to learn to fuel the one but be able to manage the other, or sit with the other, or talk about the other, meaning emotion, meaning feeling, whatever that might be. I hope that made sense, because I'm getting like a really interesting breakdown of this. There's just this feeling of like not wanting to be right about something, or not wanting to be right about somebody, and then something happens and it's like, okay, like I gotta move forward on this, gotta make the best decision for me, I gotta redefine what I'm looking for, I gotta like adjust my vision to be like, this is what I want. And so you're moving forward away from like some type of maybe cycle, or, and it could have to do with a lot of different things, because this could be money, like this could be like material things, this could be like people stealing from you, this could be emotions, this could be somebody in your family who could be maybe older than you, who just had like really high expectations on things and maybe wasn't going about things in a empathetic manner. Maybe they were focused on money, maybe they were focused on material things, maybe they were someone who was very focused on like the recognition of something, the, you know, like the material success of something, and then you have the completion of some type of cycle, and it's like letting this energy go so that this intensity can come in and like push you forward, finding that balance. But then it's like needing to release something within the mind, but needing a time period to be isolated, to be in cocoon. It's a 3, so it's like mind, body, spirit, and also in other dynamics of 3, where, oh, this is interesting. I don't know, maybe there's something significant about 3 months. I feel like this is something about 3 months, where it's like maybe you'll just be in this period of like isolation for 3 months. I don't feel like it's a bad thing. I feel like it's needing to recover a little bit from something, but I don't think it's a bad thing. I feel like it's growth, because you have the completion here. And this is a positive card with the dream, which tells me it's like realizing maybe something you were focused on isn't really what you want, isn't really what you're trying to bring in. It's not really what you thought it was. So you're like, okay, like I gotta move forward, and you figured out what it was that you had to do to kind of break free of that energy, because I feel like this was going on for quite some time. I hope that makes sense. Yeah. I'm feeling pulled to like use a different deck for a moment. But which one? That's the question. It's this one. That one's like really astral. I don't want to go that far, because I have sauce on the stove at the moment, so I have to be mindful of that. Where am I at? Okay, so I'm only like 13 minutes in, so I'm doing okay. Which deck do I want to use? This is interesting. I don't know why I can't figure out which deck I want to use. I'm just going to use, I'm going to go with this one, and if I don't like it, I don't like it. That's a lot of cards coming out. Okay, so you have the King of Wands. So here's the fire. Here's fire. Okay, again, I feel like you guys are moving into something else. You guys are letting something go. You're coming out of the cold from something. You're letting go of something. You're moving towards being able to have that passion, that fire, that energy, that zest. You're moving back into that energy. But again, I feel like you might be dealing with something from the past, because the way that the cards are positioned, it's facing the past. But this card is facing towards the future. So it's like knowing, I don't know why, but I feel like it's like you have to like make a pit stop here, and then it's like, then you'll go forward for whatever that is. It's like, okay, let me just like revisit this really quick, and then I'm going to go forward for whatever that might be, whether it's closure, whether it's something there, a conversation, I don't know. Take that as you will. But it's a little bit like that. So that's really interesting. And this has been something that's been on your mind. But it's like finally taking action towards it. It could have to do with a person. Could have to do with the Queen of Cups. Somebody, water sign, again with that dynamic of fire and water. This could be emotion. This could be self-love. This could be another person. If I'm looking at this in terms of another person, you could be sending a message to somebody, or somebody could be sending a message to you, vice versa, after a time period of no communication. I mean, it could be like months, years. I'm not really zoning in on a time frame, but there could be a dynamic here that's like somebody might have something to say to somebody. And they want to go about it logical because they want to have success with it. Like, they don't want to be met with, I guess what they don't want to be met with a reaction that they don't want, I guess. But this could be a message about moving forward on something, or like choosing to let the past go and moving forward, or choosing to reconcile things and call it even, whatever that might mean, you know, agree to disagree. If this is not about another person, this could be revisiting something from the past that really made you feel full. It made you feel loved. It made you feel abundant. It made you feel nurtured. It made you feel secure. It made you feel acknowledged. It made you feel seen. Like, there are a lot of things with the Queen of Cups here where it's like, if this is not about another person, if this is about a situation from the past, this is something that could have to do with ancestors. This is something that could have to do with family. This is something that could have to do with a situation in the past with family. And it's like having to revisit something, whether it be like maybe a matriarch of the family. I'm seeing like maybe a mother, grandmother, aunt, somebody of that level within the family, where it's like maybe there's something here. I don't know if it's like, I mean, it could be spirit in the way that it's kind of broken down here, but it's like something in the past. I'm not sure. I'm getting a lot of different kind of flashes of things, so I'm not 100% on if I'm seeing this correctly, but you know, I'm gonna go with it. Because this is how I feel with it. I don't know, that might be significant. Whatever I just said might be significant. There's something about logic here, and somebody maybe didn't want to like share something. Somebody, the High Priestess, the Tower, the Wheel of Fortune in reverse. Maybe something came to an end. There's a dispute maybe because you have the Queen of Swords and the King of Swords down here. And that's interesting, and they're kind of separated between, I don't know, you could have some reconciliation here. And somebody maybe in the past met you with a certain type of energy, and you're trying to come back at it, or this person's trying to come back at you with a different energy. And they're hoping that they can maybe figure something out, whether it be a reconciliation, whether it be like an agree to disagree, but like let's be civil type of thing. You have the Tower here with the High Priestess. It's like this is something that was like, I don't want to say that it's like like everybody knew it was going to happen, but it's like this feeling of like your intuition's like you know something, and then boom, here comes the Tower, the King of Swords with the Nine of Cups. And see, the Nine of Cups can be a little, like, arrogant sometimes. And that's kind of what's between the King and the Queen of Swords. So if this is, like, a dispute between two people, this could have to do with, like, money, like spending money, like compulsively spending money, like somebody who goes out and, like, drinks excessively or gambles or, like, really spends money, like they really party or, like, they really, like, are kind of, like, because sometimes, like, I get greediness and selfishness off of the Nine of Cups, but this is more of, like, arrogant-ish, where it's, like, reckless almost, like intoxication, like reckless intoxication. I don't know. So there could be something here with that. So I can see if somebody, like, wanted to, like, move on from a situation, I can see how something could have went down in the past, causing somebody to turn their back on another person or to, like, walk away from a situation in general because it wasn't appropriate or it wasn't fulfilling. It was very toxic. It was maybe in an environment that wasn't very disciplined because it's the King and the Queen of Swords, and this is, like, very disciplined, very articulate, very structured. And maybe there was, with this Nine of Cups, there's this energy of something maybe not being so balanced there, especially with the Tower. So I'm going to come back for the others because I got sauce on the stove, but I hope these messages helped or I hope that they made sense. So yeah, we'll talk soon. Take care.